Hey everybody, welcome to the next part of my side saga here for Kingdom Hearts. We're actually going to be heading straight into the absent silhouette battles today. This took me, let's see, quite a while actually. By the time I was at this point in the game, most of the absent silhouette battles you're actually a little bit over-leveled for, which is a good thing. Zexion, Larxene, Vexen, and Zaxius, or what was his name? I don't remember. Wow, Laxius, I think it was. Yeah, I think it's Laxius. So he was defeated. All of them can be beaten at about level somewhere between 55 and 60 relatively easily. However, Marluxia is unique because he has his own special mechanic for the battle, in that every time you take a hit, you lose a point, and your points are set at whatever level you're at. So if you get hit a lot, like I do, unfortunately, doing it at level 55 to 60 can still result in you dying, because if your count hits 0, you lose the fight automatically, which does unfortunately suck. But first, we're going to fight Zexion. He is the book guy. He was the ringleader in Riku's story in Chain of Memories, and he was the last one to be defeated. I think in an earlier video I said he was the first one, and I was wrong. He is the easiest of the absent silhouettes. He only has about 3 health bars, and you just have to be careful of. Number one, he will turn your guys into books. If you let him do that, he will eventually turn all 3 of you into books, and you'll be transported into his inside world, which you saw a little bit earlier. And you have to find the right book inside of that world, and dispel it. Once you get him down low enough, he will do an attack where he launches meteors. You have to be in the blue circle to be safe from them. Unfortunately, I failed miserably, but thankfully I was over-leveled enough that I could survive it. That's the main problem with the Zexion boss fight, is those meteors. You have a very, very short time frame to get in there, and a lot of people just can't pull it off. However, I think that should end Zexion here just about. No! He freaking held on for another one of these? Oh my gosh, I don't like them at all. Okay. These are good things to remember for later when you have to fight all these guys again. They become the data organization. So it's good to learn all the tactics and have all of this in mind. But defeating the absent silhouettes will get you extra stuff for Sora, which is really, really helpful for Proud Mode. Especially if you're planning on doing a lot of the extra stuff later. Zexion just gives an item slot, which isn't necessarily the greatest thing ever, but it does mean you can hold an extra elixir or high potion, which I can appreciate. You also get a couple of materials and recipes and all that. And with that, we'll move on to Port Royal with the second absent silhouette. This is Larxene. Now, she was the first one actually to be defeated in Sora's story. Ironically enough, she is the only female member of the organization, and she's the one who's defeated first. Well, I mean, unless you count Xion, which I don't know if you can or not, depending on if anybody ever remembers Xion. I don't know. That's just freaking weirdness on its own. Larxene is probably one of the most difficult bosses to fight, especially if you're not over-leveled for this, because she has a lot of really... I don't know how to say it. She's not particularly strong, but she has a lot of combos, and her lightning can stack up a lot of damage very quickly. But she is one of the easier... She's still one of the ones with a lower amount of health bars, only at 5. But it is going to be a difficult fight. But I think I can do it, because, you know, And, you know, these are the fights where if you level enough, you're going to beat them. That's not So a lot of this fight, basically, I just kind of tank hits. If you use guard smartly, you can actually not take as much damage as I do. But really, I was just kind of aiming for as much damage as I can, as quickly as I can, rather than playing it safe, which, I mean, depending on your opinion, good or bad strategy. Boom. There we go. The air combos are really handy. And there's some damage again. And you can do this. And get hurt. And okay. Whoa. Okay. Oh, there's the lightning. And now you can see what I mean by she can rack up damage very quickly. I chose to go Valor for him, which probably wasn't my smarter move, but... But that's okay. I think we're almost there. If I just revert... I should just revert and use magic. I know I should, but I don't know if I'll get the chance to. Come on. Oh my god. She just won't stop. Oh my gosh. Am I gonna lose? No, I'm not gonna lose. There we go. I got it. Yep. Maximum MP increase. Okay. Just have to block that lightning strike instead of taking it. Which I did throughout most of the fight, which, not my smarter moves. Oh well. That's 2 absent silhouettes down, and 3 to go. Cloaked Thunder, and a Lost Illusion. The third absent silhouette is going to be in Agrabah. This one is for Vexen, who was the second one defeated in Sora's story. Technically, you defeat Axel, but he doesn't die. Larxene is the first one who dies, and then you fight Vexen, and he gets killed by Axel, which is its own interesting little thing. Now, Vexen, to be honest, I think we're going to see a lot more of him when we get to the Data Org fights, because those are level 99 super difficult fights. However, in this version, I found, especially since I was a little bit over-leveled, the best way was to get out of the circle that he plants around you as quickly as you can, which is actually kind of difficult to do. You have to use free run or something akin to it and wail on his shield as much as possible, get that shield down, and then take him out. But it can be kind of difficult to do because that frickin' circle will follow you everywhere. And as soon as Vexen has data, he can summon a Shadow Sora. Shadow Sora is technically actually anti-Sora, and the anti-form that Vexen summons can deal you a lot of damage very, very quickly, and before you know it, you'll be, you know, kind of dead. And she'll do that, which I don't think either. The problem with the circle is it will follow you super close, and waiting for it sometimes is the most difficult part, because you're trying to get to Vexen, and the circle will just keep following you and following you, and you have to basically sacrifice combos on Vexen to make sure that he doesn't get the circle completed. Now, from what I hear, the Data Org fight will gather the data much, much faster, which means it'll be even more difficult than avoiding this one. And he's already able to summon a Shadow Sora once he has 2 datas, and the data doesn't go down, it just goes up. which to be honest, that's the part of this boss fight that bugs me the most and I think causes the most problems, because the data doesn't go down, it only goes up. So technically, he can keep summoning an infinite amount of Shadow Soras as long as he wants to summon them. Okay. I got the data, I got a free run out of that. Thunder, none of the magic is really working on them, so... Okay. Hold on. I'll have to get one more combo on him after we take out his shield again. Okay. We can do this. Maybe. Yes! Got him. And got an armor slot. Now, beating Vexen is one of the better choices you can make in terms of the absent silhouettes. If you don't want to defeat all of them, I do definitely recommend defeating Vexen because you get that armor slot, which is supremely helpful because you get extra defense, you can get extra resistances, all that. Especially for the super difficult fights, super necessary. Alright, now we're on to number 4. Twilight Town in the Sandlot. You will find the absent silhouette for Laxius. At least I'm pretty sure I have their name right. He was the first one to be defeated in Riku's story and was one of the only 2 to be defeated by Riku. The rest were all basically defeated by Sora except for Axel, who kind of did himself in there. Sorry, Axel. Laxius is a bit of an interesting boss fight in his own right. He will continually power up throughout the fight. He will continue to take damage, however his attacks get stronger and stronger. In this version, he already has a lot of health, so I'm not entirely sure what the best strategy with Laxius is. I just kind of went with attacking him as much as possible. And there are times when attacking him isn't good, there are times when attacking him is perfect. Especially early on, before he's powered up too much, I try to wail on him as much as I can, get as many combos as I can. Right around when he gets to the 30-100 is when he'll start wrecking you pretty hard, and you'll have to start keeping an eye on your health all the time. Again though, being overleveled for the fight does help in this instance. Also, there is a ground explosion move, which I managed to finally equip to Sora later on, but I did not have it at this time, which can help you deal more damage to ground enemies and finish a combo. But, I mean, it's up to you how you want to fight him. Like I said, I just found that just wailing him as much as possible was the best way to do it. Because once he gets up to 9,999, he is almost impossible to defeat. Mega Impact will make Sora's attack power go higher than Laxius's just for a moment, and give you a nice combo with which to damage him. And why I chose to go Valid Form, I don't know, because he just starts wrecking you. That didn't make any sense. Why did I do that? He was just continually wrecking me. I haven't had a chance to do anything. Heal. Got it. Oh, Mega Impact. Yes! Laxius is another good one to defeat because he will give you an accessory slot, and accessory slots are the one where you can get your AP boosted, and for having all the abilities you want on Sora, having as much AP as possible is super, 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 super useful, super important, super everything. Meanwhile, we'll move on to our final one, which is the absent silhouette for Marluxia in Beast's Castle. As I mentioned at the start of the video when I was talking about the absent silhouettes, Marluxia is by far the hardest one in my opinion because of the count and because I'm not super great at blocking as much as I should. I've been working on getting better on it because I know I'm going to have to fight the Data Org at some point and they are going to wreck me if I'm not prepared for them. Not to mention the Lingering Will fight, which supposedly is even harder than that, which if I want to do good at, which I do, I want to actually beat him if I can, it's going to require an amount of skill that I literally do not have right now. But, meanwhile, Marluxia will start the little fight here by giving us that count. As you can tell at the end of this here, I started fighting these guys when I was level 55 to 70, 55 to 60. However, Marluxia actually defeated me 2 or 3 times in a row. And so what I decided to do was level up my drive forms, and while I was leveling my drive forms in the world of I leveled up a bunch for Sora, so I got to 77. However, at the start of this, it really didn't help me, as you can see. Because my choices in terms of blocking are not very good. Marluxia also does have the most health of any of the absent silhouettes, so that's a thing to note. Block, okay, aerial strike, nice. It should give me... Nope. Oh no, he's doing his... That one is freaking... I hate that move, Marluxia. Nope, he's gonna do it again. Come on. Avoid it. There we go. Okay. No. Come on. I gotta stop getting hit by that. Now I have to heal and... And I was just gonna use it again. This is where things get tricky because he's just gonna keep spamming things and I have to kind of work around it. There we go. No, I lost him in the middle of the combo. I don't want that. Okay. It's okay. I'm maybe about halfway there. Halfway there. Just have to time it. Okay. So when he starts knocking you in the air, you do have to time it. And I missed my chance to get my count back, which of course I did. Oh no! I'm wondering if I even won this one. Come on. There we go. No. You get too adrenaline filled and then you just start reacting instead of thinking, come on, you're better than this. And that was just time. That time is off. Gotta put the hits on at least. Here comes that again. Okay, what? I blocked that. I don't think that's fair. There we go. Full combo. Got it. Block that. And here he comes with the Scythe of Death thing. Block it. Block it every single time. And go for it. Nope, he's doing the thing. Okay. What are we doing? Oh, run. Quick run, quick dodge. That's not good. Aerial strike. I don't know why I didn't let me restore my count. But I don't have much stress anymore. We're just gonna have to go for it. Come on. No. Okay. No, block it. No, block it for it. Block. Okay, I have 8 left. Are you freaking serious right now? 8 left. Aerial strike. It stops giving me the option to restore my count after a while. Wait. Yes, I got it! Beating Marluxia is also good because you get your drive gauge powered up. Super important, again, for if you're going to fight Data Org, if you're going to fight Lingering Will, having your drive gauge as high as possible is super, super handy. Because you'll need to use it a lot. But that's the data organization. Or the absent silhouettes, anyway. See you guys next time.